Hiring top producers. So a number of you have spoken about this. I love this saying. It comes from a billionaire based here in Pretoria, and he said, even turkeys can fly in a hurricane. What he was talking about in property is that he said from 2004 to 2007, anyone could sell property, every property looked good, but he said, obviously in the last 3 years, the rules have changed. And, and I love his saying, he gave it to me, turkeys can fly in a hurricane. So how do you find top producers? Firstly, you've got to psychologically profile them. So the problem is that when people come in, they all want to tell you their best thing. There's a test called DISC, D-I-S-C, that I can email you to do it free of charge. If you're looking for salespeople, they've got to be high in D and they've got to be high in I. Okay? Now, D is driver, I is influencer, S is systems, and C is control and like management and that type of stuff. Okay? Now, just in my interest, I'm a 99% D, 99% I. Okay? That's who I am. So the bottom line is, if I want to hire people like myself, I've got to DISC profile them to find people like that. Because they can't lie. There's no right or wrong in a DISC profile. So that's the first thing, and that's free. It doesn't cost you a cent. The other thing that we found very successfully by doing this is that we'll send it to 6 people, and only 2 of them will even fill in the DISC profile. Well, awesome. I didn't want to deal with those other 4 in the first place. They can't get the very first task right. Do you know what I mean? So immediately it gets rid of 4 people. That in the past, I would have sat with all 6 and tried to sell them the company and why they should join the company. The next thing you do is you reject them before you interview them. So you run an advert and you say, right, we would like to hire the best 3 salespeople in the country. Please contact us if you think you're the best. And I've got scripts and everything, that I can help you with the adverts, etc. When they phone up, you literally, now, remember, one of the biggest phobias of most salesmen is the telephone. And how do you be successful? The telephone. So don't even bother getting in an interview with them until you've dealt with them on the telephone. So literally, they phone up and you say, listen, why are you the best? I asked you to only contact me if you're the best. And quite often they'll go, no, but sorry, Scott, can you just tell me a little bit about the job? Sorry, with all due respect, I don't have a lot of time. There's 12 other people that I need to contact. Why are you the best? If you're the best, I will be able to fill you more in the job. But tell me why you're the best. No matter what they say, you cut them off halfway through the process. And you say, listen, I'm terribly sorry, but I'm not hearing top producer. No matter what they say. I'm an Olympic athlete, I'm blah, blah, I'm not hearing top producer. Let me explain it. 2 things here. Firstly, it is incredibly difficult to do this. I like people. It's incredibly difficult for me to be horrible to someone I've never met before. But I'm doing it for their benefit and for my own benefit. Because what happens is 9 out of 10 people will go, okay, my mom says I'm pretty good, but you obviously know better. Yeah. Cheers. 5 minutes. You wasted 5 minutes of your life with that person. And more importantly, you've only wasted 5 minutes of their life. This is not all about you. It's also about them. You're saving them the acrimonious path of coming in your company and not succeeding anyway. But that 1 out of 10, they will not take no for an answer. There's a lot of people in this room who I know have been very successful in sales. No matter what I said to them, they would go, hang on. Did you not hear that I've done this and I've sold this and I can do this? And like Chet Holmes actually talks a story where he goes, are you deaf? Like, did you not hear everything that I've done? It's in your human nature. If you are a top producer, you can't help selling yourself. Even when you're told that you're not good enough, you still go back. And that is, I promise you, it's one of the coolest tricks. We've had people come in where we have hired them, trained them, whatever, and we just waste our time. Monkey see, monkey do. They come in, we teach them, and then they go out in the field and they don't deliver. And it drives me bananas. Now, we actually had a guy come in. He got through the telephone process. Then we got to the process of the interview. He came in, I showed him, taught him a little bit of stuff, gave him our core story, gave him the webinar on running the core story. And Chris and I said, right, come back on Monday morning and present to us the core story. And on Monday morning, he came back in. He handed back his laptop and said, this is not for me. Awesome. Awesome. I don't want to train him for 2 months and he doesn't deliver anyway. So it's such a valuable thing. And I've spoken to you about the phone phobia. This here are the 5 things. You've got to have a balance between empathy. So they've got to have a sincere interest in helping their clients succeed, but they've also got to have ego strength and ego drive. So when you get rejection, you can stand up. You don't want someone that's a vulture because it will cause absolute. So it's got to be a balance between the two. Market knowledge. So a lot more than just product knowledge. What's happening in the market? Why? What are the trends? How? Why? So that you can do the whole education-based marketing. Superior skill sets, things like time management, telephone skills. And then the last one for me is training. Top producers, you can never pay a top producer enough money, I don't think. One of the 6 human needs is that you've got to keep feeling like you're growing. So if you've got top producers, and a couple of you in the survey said, how do you hire top producers? I think one of the best ways you can hire top producers is show them that they can continually grow, get more training, continually get better and better and better. Am I right or wrong? I know there's lots of top producers in this room. No company could keep me unless there was an onward path to get better and better and better. So those are the 5 traits that you're looking for in any top producer. And this was actually done on a piece of research. It cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. The big thing with top producers, the strong get stronger. The top producers should get all the best opportunities. You need to pay them fast and pay them great. And you need to come up with ideas that you can look at as to how they can do their job. Just a quick question there in terms of how you can structure your deal. We were always told with property that you only get paid when the property transfers. So I learned this in January last year, and I'll never forget the telephone call to Kristen. When a client books a property, we get a 20,000 Rand reservation deposit. And that was subject to finance and all that. But the bottom line was a financial commitment from the client. I learned this stuff. I phoned Kristen. I said, right, the deposit just became a fee. We came up with 3 things. We got the silver, the gold, and the platinum. And they're completely different. But the silver is 20,000 up front. The gold is 30,000. The platinum's 80,000 up front that people pay. By doing that, every salesman that sells something can get paid the day they make the sale. Literally the day they make the sale. Now, the difference that made for me is the big quandary I always had is I wanted to hire top producers, but then I would say to them, well, look, you're going to have to work, but you only get paid in a year. And they were like, well, how do I survive for a year? So then I was like, okay, well, let me go to Standard Bank and try and borrow money from Standard Bank so I can fund them for the year. And it was kind of this vicious circle. I never got to where I wanted to. Until I completely thought out the box. We brainstormed, we workshopped, we came up with a way. And by doing that, we added a lot of value. So what we've done is we positioned ourselves to people in the offshore market as the private banker. We charge a fee. If you don't like that, go down the road to one of our competitor people that don't specialize in offshore. We've helped over 2,000 people invest offshore to a value of 1.6 billion, all the research, blah, 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 blah. And if you want to deal with a private banker, that's our fee. If you don't want to, go down the road. We've put the fear of God in them, blah, blah, blah. And I don't know, I'm sure we probably have, but I don't think we've lost a lot of deals because of that. But by restructuring the deal, we can now bring people in. All of us, including myself, can earn money now, not have to wait for a year. It's changed the rules of our game completely. And just in my interest, just to give you an idea, what is the difference between, for us, silver and gold? Very, very little. We were doing everything anyway. We just turned it into a package. And the difference between silver and gold, because certain people always want to have the primo product. Okay, so all we did was that, as an example, one of our big problems with people with their cell phones was that their cell phone banking wasn't working because they had a South African SIM card and they couldn't get like Australian SIM cards, etc. So I flew to Australia, bought 50 SIM cards, and if you're on the gold package, you get a SIM card. It cost us $1 to buy that SIM card. But the difference is that you've got 2 choices. You can either take our gold package or you can fly to Australia yourself. But don't complain in 6 months if you don't have internet banking because we've warned you about it. Did you just see the logic? So it's little things that don't have to cost you a lot of money. I think, particularly for the likes of yourself, you could have a premium product that I know people would pay for if I could have one point of contact. Or if I could have this extra special service, the Platinum Club service. Do you see what I'm trying to get at? People pay for that. I know definitely you've got clients that would like to be treated. And the irony is, I know you want to treat everyone like that, but you just create a new package. You still treat those clients like that, but you just give them a better service. And now suddenly you can charge money up front and you can change the whole rules of how you do it. Just interesting enough how we did Platinum. I had a client Chris and I had a client who refused to pay. And so I was like thinking out of the box because we still had to pay people up front because everyone's incentivized like that. So what we did is we took a margin of our commission. So we normally earn, say, $10. We said, pay us $7 now and we'll refund the commission to you on transfer. And I'm not going to bore you with all the details, but I thought it would never work. It worked like a charm. Like literally, we've done it probably more often than not. Now I sell a property offshore and I get like 80 grand in the bank account this week, not waiting for a year, The client's happy because he's getting a discount. We're all happy because there's money in the company. We can split comms and everything else. It's changed the rules, guys. So I'm just saying, like, how can you think out the box, in terms of what is possible and how you can do it? And there you've got the example. So that's pretty much it. I honestly think with regards to people, you want to look for them at a young age. Just in my interest, Kristen waved her finger at me over there. Did Teresa close that Sydney sale? So while Kristen and I are sitting here, Teresa's out there. She just sold a Sydney property. Now, I cannot understand why none of you are clapping your hands. Because with all due respect, guys, we're here helping you guys, and the company just made 120,000 rand. Why did it take place? It's everything we've taught you. We've 3P'd, we've set the systems up, we've hired top producers, etc., 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 and we know we're near where we want to be. I want to be sitting here and getting 5 of those messages. But how cool is it? Because a year ago, I was the only person selling. If I didn't sell, there was no sales. Do you know what I mean? We've managed to turn it around. And we know we're near where we want to be. But I just wanted to show you what's possible. And that would just happen by chance that Kristen told me at lunch that it would sell. So, and the cool thing for Teresa, because it's the whole deal, she'll earn quite a lot of money up front. It's just magic, basically. Kristen earns some money, I earn some money. It's magic, basically, in terms of how we go. So, what initiatives could you have if you had top producers? That's my attitude, because none of us have enough time. This little book here, I don't know if any of you have read it, but The Little Engine That Could. It's my first memory, and it's all about persistence. The little train that says, I think I could, I think I could, I think I could. Maybe that's why I'm so persistent. It's my first memory of any book that I ever read.